What is up, you guys? It's Monty. Today we're doing something a little bit different. It's going to be part haul, part Friday reads, like what I plan to read this weekend, and then what I've read this week. So, yeah, let's just get into it. So we're going to do the haul first. The first book I have here was sent to me by Penguin Teen, and that is A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. You know me in fantasy. Can we focus, please? Thank you. Fantasy and I do not get along, but this was a really good book. I don't know if/when I'll be doing a video review for this one, but I do have a Goodreads one. It's like written and everything, so I'll leave that linked down below. Super good. I gave it 4 stars, I think, not 5, but it was still really great. Really enjoyed the narrative, and 10 out of 10 would recommend. Then the rest of these are all books that I bought and paid for myself, because I do that on occasion. So first up, I have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Also American Royals. I already have a review of this book, but I bought it, sprayed the edges. Yeah, I needed this in my life, and I have it in my life. I'm still waiting for that sequel. 10 out of 10. Hope I get an arc of it, because I need it in my life, but probably won't be a thing that happens. Then the next 2 books are from last month's Owl Crate, so if you somehow live under a rock and you haven't been spoiled for that already, skip ahead in the video like a good 30 seconds. But I Hope You Get This Message by Farah Naj Rishi. This was the only reason I ordered from Owl Crate again, because I don't like Owl Crate. I don't think that their service is worth the money. I mean, yes, I understand that like the book and the goodies are more than like you would, like if you buy everything individual, you would spend more individually on the items than getting the box. But personally, I'm not a fan of the service, but I wanted the exclusive signed copy, so they sucked me back in, and I hate this cover change, so we're not going to talk about it. But basically, I think like aliens have made contact, and I think you have like 8 days until the end of the world, and it's queer. So I was like, it's queer, I want it. And it felt like this I think was the more contemporary choice from last month's box. And then the super sci-fi fantasy one was Crier's War by Nina Valera. I had to have mispronounced that name. I had to have. This one is still in the plastic because this book actually really doesn't interest me. I don't like the idea of like human, non-human relationships. So I appreciate the female-female romance, but I don't know if I can get past like a human dating a robot. Like, that's not really my cup of tea. Not really my cup of tea. So it's in the plastic because I probably will send this to a friend or do a giveaway for it at some point in the future. So it's just to like ensure that it stays in a decent condition. Now I'm going to move on to like the really quick announcement part of the video, so 1 second. I just wanted to throw it out there that in the month of December, I plan to read Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. And if you wanted to buddy read this with me, let me know, because I would be highly motivated to get through this if I knew someone else was out there reading it. And I think the new adaptation comes out next month in time for Christmas, and I probably will want to go see that, and that's the only reason that I want to get to this one. So I thought I would chuck it in a video at some point, and I figured if I do it now, you have some time to think about it, let it percolate in your mind. Now I'm going to move on to what I've read this week so far. I think I also read A River of Royal Blood this week. I don't really know when I finished that one, but it was relatively recently, so that got read. Then I picked up Dare Me by Megan Abbott. This is an adult thriller, kind of. Like, I don't think it's that thrilling, if I'm being honest here. I only picked it up because I saw a trailer for the adaptation that is going to be on, I want to say it's going to be on USA, and it looked like a fun TV show, and I was like, let me read the book. And then I saw the book was 290 pages, so I flew through it. It deals with a cheerleading coach and a murder, but the perspective is told from a member of the cheerleading squad. So she's like 16 years old. She's always been like the lieutenant of the head cheerleader lady in the book. But I didn't think anything in this book was all that good. I didn't think that the dynamics were well fleshed out. I feel like there was a lot of heavy topics that were kind of brought up to, like, make it seem well-rounded, but it didn't do anything for me, and I felt that they were poorly handled. There are several instances where we deal with disordered eating in a multitude of ways, and I didn't think any of them were handled well, and I didn't think that they offered any kind of... It just made me uncomfortable the entire time I was reading this. I think that the third act twist for the thriller was... I mean, I personally didn't see it coming, and I guess it kind of made sense. Sure, but I don't think the book really cared about. It just... Nothing about this book was good. Then I picked up the Bromance Book Club by Lyssa May Adams. Yes, Lyssa K. Adams. This is the Cover Whores Book Club book pick for this month, and I think it's going to be on Heather from Aphrodite Reads channel this time, because I think the last one was on Carly's channel. I don't know when that date is, but I'll leave a link to their Twitter and their Instagram in the description so you can find all that information out for yourself. But, was not a fan of this. The premise that I was told is it's about a man who he's a baseball player, and the team has like a bromance book club. They read romance novels and all these guys to work on their relationship, which sounds like a cute premise, except what you actually have is a book about a man whose wife tells him that she wants a divorce, and instead of him accepting the fact that his wife no longer wants to be with him, he decides he's going to use romance novels to scheme his way back into her life after she told him she doesn't want him. And then you kind of explore her deep-seated issues, and he has some hang-ups that I thought were, quite frankly, a little ludicrous, but I also don't have a speech impediment, so, like, I can't really... But, again, I thought they were pretty ludicrous. But they never work through their issues, right? So, the book is 300 pages long. Like, at page 100 is when he starts to, like, I'm gonna scheme my way back into her life. And then for like 100 pages in the middle, nothing is happening. Like, you don't see them really working to like get back together, to communicate any differently. It's just like, their issues that they have with each other are never all that well explained. And then because it's a romance novel, the last 100 pages are spent trying to make you believe they're compatible and they could make this work. And I'm kind of like, I wish this were just it didn't work. It didn't work. It was gross. Like, it was gross. There was not a single page of this book where I was like, I'm really enjoying myself. I mean, sometimes when Liv was on screen, like on the page, I was like, okay, I like Liv, which is the husband's wife's sister, his sister-in-law. She was cool, and the second book in this does follow her perspective, but this book, this one also does the thing where I didn't feel that the side character in this was a black character, and then the sequel in this one I think is called Undercover or something, and the character on the cover is like ambiguously brown, and I'm like, am I just a bad reader? Because I didn't pick up on Mac being brown at all, but go off. And so this is the second one, because Fix Her Up sequel, Love Her or Lose Her, also did that same shit. I'm kind of over it. Like, if you want to have a black character in your book, go for it. But I didn't feel that Mac was black in this book. And so it kind of bothered me when it was like, surprise! And then I'm currently in the middle of the Gilded Wolves. I'm on page 145, and this is what I plan to read for the rest of today. I'm filming this on Thursday, but tomorrow and Friday this is going to be my priority. And then as for after I finish the Gilded Wolves, this weekend Chelsea Dalling and Julie from Pages and Pens are hosting a weekend contemporary-a-thon that's very relaxed. There are no challenges. They're just celebrating their 3 years of friendship. And so I did go to the library. I picked up some contemporary reads. And then I was sitting and thinking about if I was actually going to film this Friday Reads video, if I was going to do a contemporary-a-thon video for it. And I decided that I really don't want to read any of those contemporaries that I checked out. And so I'm just going to return them. And I figured that I still want to do some kind of readathon this weekend. And the thing that's been bothering me the most is that I have said this year that I want to finish Cassandra Clare's books. That I only have 7 left. I have The Dark Artifices to finish, The Red Scrolls of Magic, and the last 3 in the Mortal Instruments. And I didn't think, and I still don't think, that there's any way I could read 7 books in 3 days. That sounds a little crazy, especially because The Dark Artifices, all of those books are pretty chunky. They are not short at all. And so I figured that instead of trying to cram all those 7 books into December and getting burnt out again, I think that I could read the last half of the Mortal Instruments this weekend. And so this is my goal. And I think I can do it. These 3, and then the last like 200 pages of the Gilded Wolves, that's the goal. This is my Friday reads. This is my weekend reads. It's a lot of fantasy, and we in the same video we just talked about how that's not my thing. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna try our best, and I'll probably check in on Monday to let you know how I did. Probably won't be on Monday. That's probably a lie. I shouldn't lie to you guys, but if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see the Goodreads updates. You'll be able to see how I'm doing. You'll figure it out. You're smart people. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video, whenever that happens to be. But until then, bye.